Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Lulua Tech Designs, and I'm your boy Lulua Mark. We are back with our Archicad project that we started some time back. Today we are focusing majorly on finishes, especially we need to have the roof. We need to start our facading. Of course, last time we managed to furnish the rooms. We managed to put some of the openings, especially doors, but we didn't do windows. So today we shall start with windows. From windows, we shall go to the roof. From the roof, we shall now go to facading, and we see how far we can go with this project. For now, this is what we have. When we come to the 3D, you see this. This is basically what we have for now. It's just a bare wall with the doors, nothing else. We now have to go and start putting our windows. Let's go to the ground floor. For windows, you just come to design. It's right here, the window tool. You just double click on it. It will pop up that window. Let me say it like that. This is the menu for the windows, where we are going to customize the kind of window we want to use for our design. So I always love these first two windows. I love these first two windows. However, you can choose the one you prefer. So I'll go with let's just go with this double window. When you tap on this 3D will show you exactly how the window will appear. However, you can choose to change things here if you want to customize the same way we did for the doors. When you come to this basic window settings, you have all the settings here. There's this natural ventilation. When you move here, you'll see width, the frame width. Then here is also the frame width. Then here is the grid, which I never chose for our door. And then here we have the handle. You can choose the handle you want. And then this is still about ventilation. This is the type of opening that you'll have for the windows. And then here they show you the material. Now this window, you see it is wood, but of course we don't want wood. We shall select any of these, especially the first one. I want steel. We can go with maybe the first one. And then I can choose here. I can decide to tick here so that it will all have this one as steel. But if you want to change all these things one by one, you can do so. Like the frame inside, the cells outside, and this one, the glass, I can choose to change it by clicking that. I just go with this blue glass. Then the frame pen, you can change these things the way you want. I'll just choose this gray, this light gray. So I'll click OK. For now, I think that is enough for me. I'll not change a lot of things, but you can explore all these things, all these settings, so that you understand how a window comes to life, especially in Archicad. So for now, I'll just click OK. Then I'll come and start placing my windows. So the first window, I'm going to place it here. However, I want it to open outside. Let me just stop there for now. I'm going to click on this window. Then I want to open the setting. You can open it from here. You can right click on the window. You go to window selection or wall selection settings, or you can come from here. Here, when you double click here, it will also open the setting. Not real wall, but it's supposed to be window setting. When you want to select a component like this, you realize sometimes it disturbs a lot. There, now we have picked the window. So the shortcut is always Control T to open up the setting. So I'll come to this preview and positioning to specifically change the width and the height of our window. Now to have this is 1.5 by 1.5, which I believe is not that bad. I guess I'll leave that at that, but we shall need to control the steel height because this one will determine the head height of our window. So we need to understand the head height of our doors, right? That will determine for us the head height of the window. So now here you see the head height. Let me just control preview. That's for the door. So the head height, the steel height is here, the width is there. The head height is 2.5. That means our window has to sit at 2.5 high. So if the window is 1.5 by 1.5, how much are we left with it to make it 2.5? That one we shall not give it to. We shall give that to the steel height. So let me come to Control T after selecting the window. So we already have 1000, 1000 plus 1500, that is actually 2.5. That means our window is perfectly sitting at the same head height with the doors. So that's what I wanted to be sure of before I can start placing other windows. So I can just go ahead to continue placing our window. Now here it will just choose the same window we started with. So I'll place another one here, so just like that. Then for the kitchen, I can also place another one here, like that. And then the bedroom, we shall place a window here. That means we shall change the orientation of our bed. We place another one here. The windows have to open from the outside. I'll place another one here, just like that. For this part, I'm going to put here a curtain wall. I think I can use curtain wall here instead of a window. So we have placed our bigger windows. Now we need some smaller windows for our washrooms because they can't have the same size of windows just like other rooms. So we shall come back to window. Then we're going to look for a smaller window. I love this one so much. What I'll do, I'll come to the basic settings. I'm going to look for this part, this one here. So I'm going to change it to steel as well. It has to be steel. I don't want wood. I'll go with that. I'll make it uniform. Then the glass, I'll make it this blue glass. Then these ones, I will turn them to the light gray that we used for the other bigger window, just like that. Then I can click OK. Also their height, you can see their height is Control T. Their height is, let's come to preview and positioning. Their height is 1.5 plus 1000, that is 2.5. So the head height is also okay. Now we can go and place in these openings. These are small openings that need smaller windows. I think we're even going to probably reduce their width again, just like this. And then for the kitchen side, I think I will place two of them here, one, and then another one here. These windows also beautify our design, they beautify our house, so it's better we use a lot of them. Now I'll select one of the windows. Maybe easily you can select it easily from the 3D. You remember the 3D is just open here. So now from here you can easily select these windows. I want to Control T to open the setting. Then the height, the width. I want to reduce the width to 800. Just like that, and then OK. So now it has only reduced for this one window. But if I want to make others have the same property like this, you come to these two tools. This first one is called pickup parameters. Then the second is called inject parameters. So I'll first of all click on the pickup parameter, and when you see it has highlighted blue, I can click on this parameter. Then I go to the inject. Then I can just start injecting on others so that they take the parameters of this window. You, after clicking on this, you also come and inject the parameters again. You like that. You keep picking this and this. It will turn it to the parameters of this one here. Then at this side, let's see, we have two of them here. You just come to now the inject, you inject, you inject, you inject, just like that. I guess these are the only slit windows that we have. Yeah, basically that. I think for windows, I must say we're done. We are completely done with windows. The only part is this one here where I promised to do what? I promised to have a curtain wall. So to have a curtain wall, it's this wall. Let's go to the 3D from here. It is this wall where we want to have curtain wall. That means we need to split this wall from the part where we want to have a curtain wall. So let's go to our line tool. I'm going to close design, come to document, I'll select the line tool. So let me first just draw one line here. Then I want to measure the distance from here up to the end of this wall. It's 6.2. 6.2 divided by 2, that is 3.1. So I'll move this thing, let's say by 3.1. If you want to move, do you still remember the procedure? You control shift D, that is to drag a copy like that. Then I'll make it 3.1, just like this. So now we are going to split the wall from here. I'll come to my split tool. I'll just split. Let me first cancel this. Then I make sure the wall is not active, or you can also select it anyways. You click on the split, then you can split from here. I'm seeing it is it has done it, though this line was disturbing us, but we have our wall here. Now this wall, we are going to turn it into a curtain wall. But before we do that, we need to also have a small wall here, because we can't have the entire part as a wall. So I'll select this line. I'll control shift D to drag a copy. I can say I need maybe just 300, just there. I'll also split that. Let me select the wall, deselect all. I don't know why this thing keeps disturbing me. Let me escape like that. Then I'll select the wall. I'll come to the split. I'll split this part just like that. Now we have this wall here that we're going to turn into a curtain wall. What you just need to do is come to the wall setting, which is Control T. You go to this floor, the model, actually not the floor plan, the model. You can come to the model. You can change this to glass. First of all, let's just change it to glass and you see what we shall get. Let's say blue glass, something like that. Then when you come to the 3D, you see what we have. It makes it a glass wall. It becomes a glass. So this is how you can actually change your wall from being that solid brick wall to a glass wall. One thing I don't like about the curtain wall let me say Archicad is, their curtain wall is a little bit, it doesn't look nice. Okay, to my eyes, it doesn't look nice. So I always prefer to create my own, just like that, using a glass, and then it becomes like a curtain wall. You can choose to create the grid lines. I can decide to create the grid lines here if I want to. If I really wish to, I can choose to create the grid lines and make the material. I change the material from glass to maybe steel or something like that. But I just want to leave this like this. I don't want to have grid lines. Maybe I can have two. Let me just have two grid lines. For you to draw anything here, of course, our lines are here. You can just use your line tool to create whatever thing you want to create here. Now, for example, I can just say I am moving this by, let's say, Control Shift D to drag a copy. Then let's move it by 600. Then we Control Shift D again. This one, let's move it at 50 millimeters just. Then this side, Control Shift D, still 600. Then Control Shift D again, 50. Then you come to your split. You come to split. You can split this to this. You have that. You come to split again. You can split this. You have that. You come to the split. You split this. You have that. You come to split. You split this. You have this. Now this one here, we just go to Control T. Let me first escape. Go to Control T. From glass, we shall change the material to steel. Like that, okay? And then this one, we do the same. Control T, change the material to steel. Just like that. So when you come to the 3D, you see that's what we have. See, that is what we have. So this one acts as our grid. That's like a grid line. See that? So you can keep creating this, and you'll be able to come up with something nice and unique other than the generic curtain wall that we usually get. So now from this point, I feel we have finished all our openings. Now what we want to do is to create a slab up here that will act as a base for our ceiling. Then after that we shall do the roofing. So let's go to design. Then we come to the slab. Then I can pick I think this one. Since our design is just rectangular, I'll pick from this corner. I go to this corner, then I move it like that, just like this, just like that. Now we have let's go to this part. We now have two floors overlapping each other. However, this last floor that we drew, we want it to sit on top of the house. You remember our floor to floor height is 3.5. So we shall Control T to go to the settings of our floor or slab. You come to the geometry positioning, and we shall change it from this to this, just like that, so that we can have access to this number. I'll just make this 1.5, I mean 150. And then this offset to home story, first of all, we're going to change this home story from ground floor to roof level. Then when we click OK, it will automatically jump to the roof level. To leave the ground, it will come up here. You see that? Now we have our roof, I mean the house, covered from up. It is well covered now. So from here we can now create our roof. That's what I wanted to achieve. I hope you understood how we did that. So now we are ready to draw our roof. To draw the roof, you come to the ground floor as always. Within the design, we have the roof. We have the roof here. So you'll double click on this roof. Anyway, you can just click once because I don't want to change the settings yet. Now the type of roof we want to create for this house is a lean-to roof that is hidden. However, I will show you other forms of roofs as well. For example, if we chose this one here, this method, it will give us a hipped roof. I'll show you how you can change hipped roof to gable roof, things like that. So if I come here after selecting roof and I click on this method, I can just click on one point like this. Then I click on the next point. Then I'll drag it. I'll drag it to this end. It will draw for us a big hipped roof. When you come to the 3D, you'll see a huge hipped roof. You see that? This is our roof. It is really huge and hipped. However, if you want to change this hipped roof to gable roof, you come to your ground floor, you select the roof from one point. Then when you click on one of these, when you click on this, let's say this terminal or the tab or this black dot, when you come to this part here, you see drag horizontal ridges. If I drag it like this, if I drag it like this to this point, we come to the 3D, you'll see that it has some gable here. It has a gable, but the other part is still hipped. Then we come back, we Control Z to go back. Then when I click on this again, then instead of this drag horizontal, I choose this first one as stretch horizontal ridges. When I do that, if I bring this one here like that, then I bring this one here like that, this one will have created for us a gable roof. You see that? That's a gable roof. It has these two sides that are open. So this is how you can create your gable roof. I believe it is the most common roof you see. However, this is not the type of roof we want to get or want to have for our design. So now I'll select this roof, I'll delete it. I just wanted to show you how you can create a gable roof. Now let's create our lean-to roof. You still select the roof from the design menu. Then we're going to select this first option, this single plane. Select that. It will give you an option to start drawing like this. After clicking the next point, it will show you this eye. The cursor will turn into eye, and this eye want to see where you want the roof to slope. I want the roof to slope this side. You just click anywhere this side, then you can now start drawing. I can now start drawing it like that. From here, now I can bring it this side just like that. When you come to the 3D, you'll see we only have this roof from one side. It is now a lean-to roof. However, it is so high up. We are going to change the slope angle. After selecting this roof, you can Control T to open the setting. You come to geometry and positioning. This thickness, first of all, is too much, and we are going to select this part, this first one here. I want the thickness of my roof to be just 15 millimeters. Then the roof, you see this home story, I want it to be roof. Then the angle, this slope angle, I'm just going to give it 5 degrees. Then when we come to the model, we can make it whatever thing we want. Tile, iron seats, you can click here. If you're looking for, let's say, roof, we have these options for the roof tiles, There are these ones. So I'll just go with the, let's just go with the, what can I select? I always get confused from here in terms of the choice of material I want to use. I'll just go with the first one and I'll link them so that they are all the same thing. And here I'll just click OK. You see what we have for our roof now. However, the roof is flying well high now. Do you know why? When you Control T, then you come to the geometry and position, you see here, this is where the roof has run away, because initially it was sitting at the story of the ground, or on the ground floor, but now it is, we change this one to the roof level, and this position cannot work. If you put this one 0, let's see what happens. It will come down like that. However, we want this to be at 3.5. This will be 3.5 because that is our floor height. So if you have 3.5, you see now our roof is sitting well on top of the house where it is supposed to be. So this is how you create a roof. We're just left with a small thing to do to cover this roof, meaning we wanted a lean to roof. The roof has to lean on something from one side. So we're going to create parapet walls here so that the roof can be hidden and the house looks modern, just to look modern. Let me first open the roof level and see what we have. You see now we have this. However, let me go to the ground floor, I guess. So now we are going to create our parapet walls. Parapet walls are basically walls that are created from the roof level to cover the roof. Those walls you see people use to hide the roof. Our parapet walls are going to have different levels so that our house can look nice. But for now, let's just pick the wall tool, one wall tool. I'll just start drawing. Let me first draw one here. Then I'll select it. Then I'll change this to center, just like that, so that it can perfectly sit on top of the other one. However, I want it to go. Let me just Control T, and then I come to the geometry and positioning. I want it, the home stories roof, roof level. Then I'm seeing here home story current. We are taking it to the roof level. So let's first click OK and come to the 3D and see what we have. So you see that it has taken this wall up. It has taken it up. We shall change the height of it later. So let's try and draw the rest. Let's draw the rest. Come to the wall. I'll change this to center so that we can have our wall centered like this. Now we have to draw for all these areas. First draw, and then we shall go and do other things later. So we shall draw here, and then from this side, just like that. From here, like that. And then from here all the way this side. And then from this side shall come all the way here. Now we come to the 3D. You'll see we have created walls that are covering our house. So I'll select this part. I'll select which other one is there. First of all, let me just move this one up. We shall Control T. Then we change the ground to roof. And then what else? Okay, just that. Okay, it has gone. Let's see others. I'm not seeing others. I can't know why. I don't know why. Okay, let me select this. I'll select shift to select the remaining, just like that. I'll keep selecting them using shift. I'll select all the walls, and then there's this one. Let me, oh god, select that, shift, select this, shift, select that, shift, select this, shift, select that, shift, select this. Then we control T to come to the setting, and we change it from ground to roof. We click OK. They'll all leave this space and come to the upper part of our house. Now we can select this, and you hold on shift. You come to this intersect, you intersect them so that they can align perfectly. You look for all those ones that need intersection, you intersect them like that. So now this is how we have hidden the roof. You can't see it, but still it is not what we want to achieve. We don't want the wall to be this high, because this is a complete floor, or like a complete house where you can have rooms, but we just want the parapet wall to be a little bit high, just enough to hide the roof. So we shall do some fond of splitting, shall split some parts and make others taller, others shorter, things like that. Now, for example, this side, we shall control T. From 3.5 we can make it let's say 500. Then you say okay. You see that? However, it cannot hide this roof. I will control T again. Can make it 1000, maybe there now. But still, this part of the roof is still shown outside. Control T. Let's do 1.2, just like that. Now here it has hidden the roof. Yeah, it has hidden the roof this side. And then I will want to split this wall. I want to split this wall. What I can do for you to split this one, if I come to the ground floor, you will no longer see this wall down. But with the Archicad, you need to have a lot of common sense if you want to achieve certain things you want to achieve. So let me see where I want to split it. It's not that one that I want to split. I want to split this one for now. I'm going to just bring this wall down. Control T. I'll bring it from the roof to the ground, just like that. I'll click OK. It comes to the ground. Then I'll come to my ground floor. I can see it is here. It is this wall. Now I'll just split it. I'll come to the split tool. I can split it from where the curtain wall starts, or I can split it from here. Just from here, like that. I'll have this. Then I can select both of them with the shift. Then I come to control T. I just change the home story to roof level. I click OK. When you come to 3D, you have now these walls separated. This one, I'll just bring it to 1.2. You control T. You change this wall height to 1.2, just like that. You see that it is now perfectly sitting with this. Then this side I will increase it by, let's say, 300. Control T. You make it instead of 1.2, I can make it 1.6, like that. See that? So I will now have to also do the same for that side. But if I just want to consider the face alone, I can make that the same height with this one here. So what I can do here to achieve that easily, I come to my pick up parameters like this. I'll pick this parameter, I'll come to inject, I'll inject it on that wall. It will bring it to the level of this one here, just like that. And then of course this one I also want to have it at this level. I'll come to pick parameters, I'll pick this parameter, come to inject, I'll inject it on this, just like that. You see that? And then this one here, I want it to have the height of this one. So I'll come to pick parameter, I'll pick this one, inject it on that one, this one here, just like that. The roof was extended here, even that floor or slab we created has also extended outside here, but we shall take care of that. We don't have to worry about it. So this side, this last side, I will make it this, it should have the same height as this. I'll just now pick parameters. Come to pick parameter, you pick this one, you come to inject, we shall inject it to this. You pick the inject again, you inject it to this. You pick the inject again, you inject it to that. Is not selecting that one there. Just like that. Now we have our levels created the way I wanted to have them. Or I can, I want to do something. I want to do something. Also feel like splitting this wall. I feel like splitting this wall at certain level here, but really for now let's have it like that. We have hidden our roof, we have properly hidden our roof. This one here are not balancing, but it's part of the design, but we can still make something that will make this side look the same as that side. We can just split this and increase others, reduce others in terms of their height. But for now, let's focus on the what? On the surface or on the front part. We're going to remove this roof, this part here that is extending this side. We shall try and take it inside. So when you open the roof level from the stories, you'll see that the roof is here. We need to take off some part from this side. But for you to do this properly, you can do it from the 3D, because from here you can be able to see what you're doing. So when I click on this black dot or point, you see it will generate all these options. There's move node, there's what fillet, there's this one here, it is also fillet. It expands the object or the roof from all angles or from all the sides. And then there's this one for adding, there's this one for subtracting. So we shall subtract from. Now after selecting the subtract, you can come and subtract from here. Let's just click here, can subtract like that, can subtract up to here. You see that it has taken off that one, but I still want this one off. I'll just click here, I can drag it to this part, then I'll subtract that one there. Now the roof has left this part, it is no longer disturbing us here. And then this, for this floor, I'll leave it here because I want it to also cover this area here, but we're going to have some design that will be able to cover this area very well. Okay, now with this, I believe we are ready to start designing the facades, because we have done the parapet walls, which is also part of it is part of facading. It is really part of facading. Let's start with the first option. The first thing we're going to do is to create I'm going to create a wall on this part here. Let me come to the ground floor. It is in the stories. I'll open the ground floor. I want to create a wall here, just here. What is that, by the way? Let me see what that is. Hey, it is this curtain, that glass wall. Now I'm going to create a wall. I'll use this. I'll say Control Shift D. I'll move it 500, just like that. Then I'll come to my wall tool. I'll come and draw a wall, not directly on the other one, but it will be outside like this. And then you come and see. Let's first Control T. Even before controlling T, we come to the 3D. You see the wall is here. We can now Control T and change the height. It is not linked anyways here. We can now change the height from, we shall do 3.5 plus 3.5 plus let's first do 3.5, brings it up here. Then this from here to here was 1.2. You can do that. 1.2 plus this is 4.7, right? 4.7. Then from here to here, it was this one was, let me see what we have. This is 1.6. Now we have to make it, this one you add 1.6 to that. That will be 5. And then 7 plus 6, that will be 6.3, not so. 6.3, let's say 6.3. It's way high. It's not 6.3 anyway. 5.3. Yup. It's not 5.3, but that's where it should be. Let it be there. It should be there. Now we are going to change some things here. This wall, I think, is a little bit, it's not, let me see, in the ground floor. I'm going to increase the width. You can just pick from here, then you start moving it. You see that I can increase it by let's say 200. No, that's not what we want to achieve. So from here it was 500 to 600, 700. Let me just put 700 like that. 700. However, the thickness I'm going to reduce it. I'll Control T. I'll come to this thickness here. I want it to be just 150. Should not be the thickness of the main wall, just like that. However, I want to take it to, it should be attached to this wall, so I can Control D, that is to drag it. I can just drag it like that and put it on this wall like that. Then I'll change the color of these other walls, because I don't want them to have this color. Then this wall here, this one, this wall, we're going to make it we're going to give it stone finish. So you can Control T, you come to model. From this paint that we gave it, we're changing this to stone. You click on one, you look for stone finish. Just stone. We have these stones. There's this one. I don't know how it will look, but we have that. I don't think it is the one we want. So I'll select it again. I'll Control T. We shall look for another stone. there's this stone too. Let me first try that. So I guess we can just have this. Can have this stone too. And then I want it to cover this side as well. This upper one should also be stone too. Control. You select this. You come to stone. We already have the stone too here. I can just click OK. Just like that. You see that? That's how we are trying to achieve our facade. That's how we're achieving our facade. Make sure you save your work before you lose it. Then there's something we're supposed to do here on this part here. So we're going to also draw this kind of wall here. I can even duplicate this. I'll just click on this. I'll say Control Shift D. That one is to drag a copy, and I can bring it here just like that. However, it is going to be a little bit smaller. When I Control D, I can be able to drag it and bring it here, just there. Then I'll drag this node. I'll bring it here, just like that, and come to the 3D. That is what we have. And then this part here, I'll have to change it as well. I'll Control T. I'll come to this paint. I'll select one. Then I'll look for text. Let's look for something like texture. I don't know, what can we do. Let's look for plaster. Not quite. Paint. Let's look for paint. I want some kind of gray paint. Like that. Okay, so something like this, something like that. And then of course this one, we're going to draw something on this wall. I want to draw a strip from down up to up on this one here. So to achieve that, the wall is here. I'll also use the same wall tool. I can just Control Shift D, move it here, and then I can just pick this node, I bring it here. Then I pick this one, I bring it here. I want something really tiny. Then I'll come to my Control T. In the geometry, the thickness, I want it to be 50. The thickness will be 50. And then I'll Control D, that is to drag and bring it here. I feel this thickness is still too much. The thickness is still too much. I'll Control T again. Let me just make it 10 or 15. Then OK. I'll Control D to drag it on the wall like that. Then I'll Control T to change the color. Let's come to the model. The color is going to be the gray color. Let's look for the gray. Let's try that. Come to the 3D and see we have this. That's what we have. Cancel. Yup. So we have something like that on this part. And then we are continuing with our modeling. So I'm going to have a design. I'm going to have a design that will start from here and links this side. To link this side, and it will determine the height of this parapet wall. So let me come to this part here. I'll still use the wall tool. I'll select this one. I'll Control Shift D to drag a copy. This one is to drag a copy, and this one is going to be from this side. And I'll control D to drag it. I'll bring it here. I want it to align with this one perfectly. However, I'll increase the node a bit. It is going to be bigger than this, and even the thickness, control T, you come to the geometry, the thickness is going to even be much bigger. It will be, let's say, 350. So I'll just click OK. Then I'll control D to drag it outside. I don't want it. Control D again to take it, let it sit on the wall like that. Then you come to the 3D, you'll have something like that. However, it is not going to be as tall as this other one. So I'll control that by control T. You come to the height here. So you reduce this height to, let's first try 4 meters and see what we have. Well, that is exactly what I wanted. It is a perfect height for me. That's where I want it to be. However, I'm going to do something here. I'm going to reduce this wall. I'll reduce this one a little bit here, like this, up to here. Then I'll bring this one to extend all the way here, just like that. Then I want to draw something that is going to be like the upper part of this one. It will come all the way to this side. So let me see if this one can hide the roof, because I want it to hide the roof so that I can have this parapet wall shorter. So I'm going to increase the height again from 4 meters to, let's say, 4.5. Just like that. Still not enough for the roof. Let's say 4.8. Yeah, that one looks to be better and better. So yeah, that one is better. So I'm going to use this same wall to draw what I want to draw. So I can control Shift D. That's why now you realize the wall tool is almost key. You can use it for anything in Archicad. So I'll drag this one on top of this. I'll bring it here. I want it to align perfectly here. Then I will drag this side all the way here, like that. Now, if you come to the 3D, you'll see we have covered this part. When I click on it, we can now control it from here. I'll control T. First of all, the wall, the thickness is okay. Then the height, the wall height. I'm going to first of all increase this bottom offset. Let the bottom offset be at 4000, just like that, which is still too high. Let it, control T, let it come down to, let's say, 3.5. I want it to cover that floor. Let it be 3.2, just like that. Then we shall now change what? We shall change the height, the wall height. From now, from 4.8, we can now bring it to, let's say, 1000 and see what we shall get. 1000 is this. We shall increase it. Let's increase it to 1.6. So that's perfect now. That is perfect. It is perfect to the point. So let's see. I really want to see if this one can cover. I think it has now covered this area. I'll not be worried again about that side. But I want to bring this one to now the normal height of our don't want to have this opening here. I don't want to have this opening. Doesn't make a lot of sense for me here. But we shall see. We shall find a way to cover that part that is creating this opening that we don't want. Now, when you see here, there's some opening around here. That means we need to increase our floor. This floor that we created, we need to increase it. And I think the best way is to do it from here. When you try to click on this, you see after selecting the floor or the slab, you can click on this node, this black node, then you come to addition instead of subtraction. You click add, then of course you make sure you are properly seeing what you are doing. So I'll just click here, I'll click here, I'll take it there. Now this, you come to add, then let's say we're adding something like that up to there. You see that it has closed that open space by adding up the floor or the slab to that part. So I am going to make this wall here. I'm going to make it in fact this one here, I want to make it a little bit gray. Control T and then model. This one should be light gray, which is a little bit light, like that. Then this one should also be light gray. This one should be light gray as well. Come here, gray, light gray, just like that. However, this one here we shall make it white. I believe you now understand how to get the settings. Basically control T and then you go to the settings, you can change things around. Now that we have made these ones gray, I'll come to this part. This one I will make it control T. Let's try this gray, the darker one. Let's try the dark gray. Okay. Then this one, control T, model gray, the dark gray. Okay, like that. Let's see what we have. I want this one to be covered by this. Can it cover it? Can it cover it? Let's first try and link these ones and see what we get. Okay. So for now, that's what we have. Let me see. Cancel. That's what we have for now. So we're going to create another thing here. You see this wall here. So also create it here. So you come to the ground floor. I can just simply pick this. I'll control shift D to drag a copy of it. I'll bring it here on this one, just like that. I come to the 3D. You see we already have that. So I can just reduce the height. Can actually reduce the height from here. You just click on this, you come to this one here that stretches it downwards like that, just like that. You have that design. Deselect all, cancel. So you see that we are doing well with our facading, and I believe you are learning a lot of things. So let's see this part. I want this one to go to this. I want it to sit perfectly at 3 point. we shall control T. We come to geometry. From here, instead of 3.2, I'll do 3.3. It will take it a little bit up. Let's see. I think it's remaining really, I think they are now balancing here well. Yeah, it is now sitting where I want it to sit. However, up here it has gone up, so I'll reduce this by 100 to 500, just like that. Yep. So this is what we have so far concerning as far as our facade is concerned. I believe you have learned how the wall tool is doing a lot of work. You can do all things. Actually, you can achieve everything with the wall tool in Archicad. It's just a matter of changing the materials and trying to ensure that you get what you want in the easiest way possible. So we shall, I think, stop there for now and continue from here, because we have a lot to achieve. After finishing this this front, we shall also turn to other fronts and make sure we create something nice, something beautiful. So well, this is what we have done today. We shall continue with our facading in the next part of this project. See you again. Thank you.